Tesla. The company is in hot water again, now facing a criminal probe over whether it misstated production numbers. Come in Harvey Pitt, former SEC chair. Harvey, what does this mean for Elon Musk?
Well, I think it's a continuation of the problems that they've had. The allegations, as at least has been reported, are that Tesla was not accurate and did not fairly disclose what its capacities were for producing its Model 3s.
I don't know whether they're guilty of this or not guilty. I really have no clue. But would you suggest to us what might happen to the company if the SEC says, yes, you really were falsely making claims about these production numbers? What happens to Tesla in that event?
Well, as you say, we don't know yet whether it's accurate, but if it were, and if these problems existed, part of the issue will be what the mental state was of the people at Tesla, including Musk. If they deliberately falsified information or deliberately understated their production problems, then I think there are severe penalties, both monetary and, in cases of individuals, jail time for people as well.
You say consideration of his mental state. Would that include using marijuana?
I meant the mental state when he did what he is alleged to have done. That is to say, in a criminal case, you must prove that the person engaged in the criminal conduct beyond a reasonable doubt. I think his mental state, in terms of some of his tweets, has been called into question. But that isn't the mental state I was referring to with respect to the Department of Justice's inquiry.
Sure seems like a Teflon stock. With this news in the background, the stock is now at $344 a share. I know you're not a stock analyst, but perhaps you're a little surprised about all the bad publicity, but the stock goes up?
I think this is a reflection of the fact that he finally settled his problems with the SEC, and I think there are a lot of people in the marketplace who don't take seriously the threat of this investigation. I think it's a serious investigation, and I think it poses a very serious threat both to Mr. Musk personally and to the company as an organization, and I think that people should be taking it more seriously.
Got it. Harvey Pitt, it's wonderful to have you on the show. You have real authority because you know what you're talking about, and that's a remarkable thing. Welcome to the show. It's good stuff. Mr. Pitt, we'll see you again soon, we trust.
I hope so.
If you're not careful, you'll be back. Thanks very much indeed, Harvey. We'll see you later.
Yeah, you have a good day.